What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to the evening edition of the stream. I hope you guys had a fantastic evening and you know, late afternoon. I sure did. I just finished an amazing TV show I was watching with Van. It is amazing. If you guys have not seen it, please do yourself a favor and watch the series called Dark on Netflix. It's a little bit weird to get into because it's a German TV show, but it's been dubbed. So the voices don't always fit with the mouth like 100% of the time, but it's so freaking good. It blew my mind. Is how good it was. So yeah, you guys really ought to check that out if you like sci-fi stuff and dark sci-fi stuff. I suggest you watch it because it's amazing. Also, if you like murder mysteries, that kind of stuff, yeah, it's super good. So guys, we will be continuing our playthrough of Tyranny, and yeah, I mean we've made some pretty good progress today, and I'm hoping that we can keep making progress. Game is incredibly good, so freaking good. I can't believe every time we reach like a new part of the story, I'm mind blown at how good it is, and I'm excited to see where it takes us. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's just jump in. Also, beer. Why not? Yeah, we're on a Monday night, right? It's Friday somewhere. Is that the same? It's Friday night somewhere. Ooh. Alright, so this is a very big bottle of beer. It's about the size of a wine bottle, to be honest. It's yeah, it's pretty good too. Load. Let's just do it. The Torn Strand is where we were. We're still in the quest with Verse. I cannot wait to swap her for Ebb, but in the meantime, we gotta keep going with her. We have a few more areas, I think, to follow. We have to find Irasa's sister and kill her, and then we have to find another person, and then that'll be it, I think. River's Break? Is that where we need to go? A small farmstead located near a fork in a small river, far from the trade routes through the valley. Essa tailored this holding for self-sustainability rather than any attempt to engage in agricultural trade. I'm assuming that's where we need to go. I think that's where we need to go. Plus, it's super far away. Look at this. It's 3 days. You know what? We're gonna stop here first. We'll stop here first, because we can pick up the shield. Whoa! Through the billowing dirt and rust kicked up by the Edict of Storm, you make out the shifting silhouettes of a small group ahead of you. Apparently lightly armed and armored, the group pulls 2 carts in their wake. They haven't noticed you through this maelstrom. Allow them to pass by without making your presence known. They continue past without noticing you and fade into the waning winds. Oops. I thought it would be like an option for me to let them go, see what they have, and then continue, but apparently not. Nah, too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Okay. Let's grab that, Oh. Wait, it's not gonna be here, is it? It's gonna be here. I like that it's instant. Traveling between spires is instant, and I freaking love it. It's a cool, awesome way to make fast travel, and I freaking love it. It's amazing. Okay. Fork with 500 cheer! Oh my god! Fork, thank you so much, man! Wow, what a way to start the evening! Holy shit! Also, what is that? 2018. That's a CSGO thing? Is it? It's amazing. I like that little thing there. Hey man, what's going on? What's up? Thank you very much, dude. It means the world to me. Thank you very, very much. Did you take advantage of... oh, it's Overwatch! You're right, it's Tracer. Because, like, at first glance, it looks like the thing from CSGO, right? Like a soldier from the side with his arm like this. Well, the other way, in your case, would be... No, I'm the right... yeah, that way. Overwatch League, awesome. Did you take advantage of the Twitch Prime thingy, Fork? Is it why you were able to get like 500 bits? Because that thing is amazing, by the way. I freaking love that they did that. It's a super cool way to for people to support their favorite content creator without having to spend like the actual $5 or whatever the price is normally. You did? Awesome, dude. It's super cool, man. Thank you so much, though. Thank you for thinking of me for that money, dude. I really do appreciate it. You're awesome. Let's talk with Volus. I've completed forging an item for me. Pride of the Forgotten. Okay, we got the shield. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to make some more items. Okay. I don't have a lot of gold, though, so we probably won't be able to make a lot of stuff. Sentinel. Can I make Sentinel? I need 60. So essentially 6,000 rings. But it has a value of 9,000. Well, almost 10,000 rings. Interesting. Oh, but it's two-ended. Oh, then I don't want it. I don't want Sentinel. Let's see. These boots, I mean, I could give these boots to Verse, but it's not necessary right now. One-headed Headhunter. Bro, we are giving that to freaking Barrack. Are you kidding me right now? This is amazing. The design of this blade was inspired by the isolated tribe of northern cannibals who lived in ignorance of Kairos. In 93 TR, the Overlord's army butchered the last of their number. Prior to their downfall, the tribe used a weapon like this to hunt servants of Kairos. Bro, this is amazing. 1% bonus for every person missing health. On a tank, it's gonna always be on. He's always losing health, like literally all the time. This is great. Oh, man, absolutely we're doing this. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. Okay, let's give him the shield. Man, our tank is going to be super awesome strong. Plop. Pride of the Forgotten. It says only Barrack can equip this. I just noticed. It's a Barrack-only weapon. Minus 50% all damage taken while health is below 35%. The shield is patterned of the lid of a traditional northern sarcophagus. Runes engraved into the metal offer arcane words of protection and longevity. It is much too heavy for an average soldier to wield, and only a northerner would appreciate its meaning. Awesome, bro.
Will do.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Woo. Okay, let's go. Set up our back. Yeah. Right. And now we're going down to here. Whew. That's what we have here. Is that her? It's her. Shit. Iron Guitar? Uh-oh. We're murdering an innocent woman.
Sorry, I can't.
Dry grass protrudes haphazardly from the threadbare and sun-bleached tunic hanging on this post. The glower painted on the bulwark sack head glares down over a rough grass beard. It bears a passing resemblance to a certain Archon of Secrets. Oh god. A bronze dagger. Really? Interesting. Does she need it? Yeah, the dagger is even better than what she had. The scent of baked bread and vegetable stew mingle in the air. Through the window, you can make out a modest dwelling kept in a kind of order and cleanliness one would expect of a disfavored commandant tent.
On it.
An older woman tends to a small but verdant patch of farm. Plump gourds and vegetables of vine and root vie for soil and light with a fig tree, its branches drooping with what passes for abundance in the tears. The farmer notices your approach and takes up her shovel as it were a spear, favoring her left arm with a wince. Careful, stranger, I'm no easy mark and have little worth your time or blood. A few errant strands of thick grey hair, loosed from the band that tames the rest, frame her deeply lined face. She may be old enough to be my mother, but she holds herself like a warrior trained. Who are you? I'm the woman who tills the soil, mends these walls, and protects them with her blood. I'm supposed to be here. You're the ones who should be announcing themselves. She points the shovel edge at you. Feisty, I like this old coot, Verse grins. Girl, this old coot has split skulls twice as thick as yours. Good earring, too. Nice farm. Thank you for the kindness. We're shared with my husband before he died. Not much to look at, but kept the family fed. The woman's lip tightens. Compliments ain't answers, though. I ask again, what brings you here? She jabs slightly with a shovel. We seek Clea. Clea? Clea was my youngest. Why are you asking after her? She lowers the shovel slightly, her eyes widening slightly at the name. Was? Shit, don't tell me we're too late. I'll have you keep a civil tongue in your head, girl, while you're on my land. She jabs her shovel in Verse's direction as if she could seal the Fury's mouth with it. Sorry, ma'am. Verse blinks in surprise at her own words. I love it. I love it. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. What happened to Clea? Hey, redacted! Cool, no worries. I will stay good. What happened to Clea? She narrows her eyes, her fingers tightening protectively around the shovel. First things first, call me Essa, daughter of Asperia, and this is my homestead, granted me by Queen Vendrian Alenta in honor of my service. She swings the shovel head to encompass the small plastered house in the abutting field. That's an introduction. You've got one to match. She points the shovel back towards you. I'm Shino Sever, fighting mother of Tunon, the Abjudicator. Essa Blue's eyes widen in recognition. What business could possibly bring the Queenslayer to Riversbreak? We came... I'll follow your lead, Verse. I'm sorry, Essa, but Irisa has died. Verse frowns down at her scarred hand and glances away. Irisa, dear girl. Dear stupid, blind, foolish, arrogant girl. A sob racks her shrunken frame. How did it happen? She died in stalwart, aiding the unbroken against the forces of Kairos. It's my fault. I raised those girls on a romance of war, on tales of bloodying the bastard Tyr and pushing back Azure. How was I to know your armies would come in their lifetimes, that the gates of judgment wouldn't hold, or that you'd stride into the tears with a man of stone who could step clean over a curtain wall? Even girls like mine couldn't stand against Kairos. There ain't been nothing like that in Northern Shadow before, able to crush mountains and call earthquakes from a scrap of vellum. There aren't no fighting that, I told them. There ain't no fighting that, I told them. Okay. They didn't listen, damn them. Of all the damn fool things I told them, the only thing they didn't hear was what mattered. She shudders out a sigh. To Verse. Well, Verse, a mercenary out of Latian's Crossing by the name of Crocus pointed us towards Irissa. He painted her a much more vicious killer than you have. Crocus, I ain't never heard of that. She pauses, recognizing flickering behind her wet eyes. Bald, bearded man, skin the color of bronze and thick as a beastman. I knew him by a different name. Right lazy bastard by my reckoning. Only thing he put much effort into was lying his way into a meal and a thong of rings. What justice is there if a man like him lives while my Irissas met the void? There's justice in it was slow and terrible. Verse cracks her knuckles. Aye, there's some comfort there. You said you trained your daughter in the heart of battle? Aye, their father were a good man, but more suited to farm work than war. She looks up sharply. If you're looking for someone to blame, I'd be that person. I trained them up, taught them the falx, the javelin, the spear, and shield. And they used that knowledge against your precious archons and their armies. Hey, Essa, maybe you'd like to shut the fuck up now. Versus lower lip twitches. You use all this food yourself, or have you sold it to other people in the well? I sold some for rings and without the Kairos damned license too. So you admit to violating Kairos' law in front of a chronicler. Well, young lady, this is going to be in the permanent record? Hey, geriatric voyeur. You ever considered shutting your flapping gums? Verse rubs her brow. What did you teach them about the Overlord? That there's never been a graver threat to all of Terratus. That Kairos represents the worst of the powers of man or woman. That such an evil must be resisted at all costs, by any means necessary. What? That directly contradicts what you said before. I changed my tune in my older, softer years, but as they growed up, I poisoned them against Kairos as thoroughly as I carved it upon their hearts. Okay. This is confusing. Anything else you want to tell me, Essa? Naming a child for Kairos is a capital offense, ain't it? I imagine naming a pig for Kairos ain't no better. Care to meet Kairos the Overpig? He's around back. The Overpig! You see what's happening here, don't you, Binder? Verse sighs, her shoulders sagging. I've come to a decision in this matter. What matter? There's no matter here, Binder. Please tell me you're not going through with this. This is your dance verse. Pick the tune. I've gained fear with verse, but I've gained loyalty with Barrick, and I've gained loyalty with verse. What? I got loyalty and fear from the same character? A quiet scrapping sound issues from Barrick as he watches wordlessly. Really? Verse takes a step back, blinking rapidly. Considering her options, Verse sheathes her weapons and nods. We came here because Irissa, she killed one of my sisters. I always thought I needed to avenge them, to make it right, because I'd failed them. But actually talking to you, it's cleared some stuff up. I guess what I'm saying is, I miss my sisters, and you miss your daughters, and that's just the way of things. Essa nods numbly, turns and shuffles towards her squat farmhouse. Okay. Verse releases a long sigh, bends down and plucks a round red tomato from a vine. Her thumb slides across its skin, then presses lightly against it, dimpling the vegetable. She tosses it from hand to hand and turns to you. Irissa and Claire are dead. What does that mean for your sisters?
I'm sure Whispers would have something clever to say about frustrated ambitions.
Verse shakes her head and chuckles darkly.
You ever have a friend who almost never speaks? But then every once in a while she slips in the perfect word at the perfect time, and it's the only thing you remember. That was 3 Whispers. She was our wiry, flickering shadow with hair like crow's feathers. Preferred close-up work. That was her name, her 3 knives and the sound of air from a punctured lung. It's hard to remember stories about her because she never drew attention.
And yet?
Her old favorite. That I remember. She'd trick a soldier into gutting his own comrade, then open his throat while he was in shock. Beautiful move, and I saw her dance it a dozen times. Whispers knew her histories and letters, knew borders and houses and heraldry. Even knew a few sigils and kept us from bleeding out more than once.
She runs a hand over her feathers.
Whispers and me, we were more than sisters sometimes. Not often, and nothing holding. But yeah, she read a body as easy as a scroll.
Well, okay then. Sounds nice.
Was nice.
That was some uncharacteristic hesitation on your part.
I didn't realize you knew me so well as to say what is and isn't like me.
She smirks and shakes her head.
I enjoy killing, Fatebinder. Doesn't mean I think everyone deserves to die.
Let's go.
Let's.
She bites into the tomato and the small beads of juice rolls down her chin. Right, so,
Right. Can't do that.
okay. What? Then what now? Verse 3 Whisper stance has been upgraded. It's great, but... My dear Shinos Heaven, and they say respect for one's elder is a dying art form. I thank you kindly for the offering as I've accounts to settle and grandchildren's to spoil. And keeping a low profile isn't very profitable. I have enclosed something for you in return. I'd so hate to let parchment collect dust, and I figure a younger mind could make use of some of the scrolls haunting my cabinets. I'm now the oldest of the court's children, and I've seen much in my time. It's probably for the best. Everyone assumes I'm old, harmless, and worth shuffling away in the archives. If I were scrutinized too closely, I'm sure Tunon would find I've grown lax in my spoiled old age. Part of why I'm where I am is that I've kept my head down. You appear to be doing the opposite. In some regards, this is beyond your control. You were chosen for the honor of proclaiming Kairos' edict twice. To decline would have meant death, but to accept means to be placed on the stage for all to see. Kairos' most powerful weapon is not the edict, it's her ability to hand us rope that we willingly use to hang ourselves. Never forget this. There are numerous questions nestled in your request. What is it you wish to know most? Focus your inquiry and I will answer as best I can. Inquire about... No, ask about the spires. Dear Meothis, it seems wise to know one's own domain, and seeing as I'm now the master of the mountain spire, I ought to learn all that I can. If you would share with me what you know of the spires, I would be in your debt. I'll start with what I know and have observed so far. The mountain spires seem to awaken at about the same instant that Kairos' edict of his execution was put to rest. There was a burst of arcane energy that drowned out my senses, and I awoke at the summit of the spire in what seemed to be just a few heartbeats of time. Atop the spire is an old sculptures of sorts, and it seems to be the core of the spire's mystic energy. I've been seeing visions and receiving sensations from the sculpture. It seems odd to describe it as talking to me, but that seems the closest analogy. Am I the first to report such things? There are other spires elsewhere in the world, correct? Okay, we'll just send it. There's 2 edicts still ongoing. Now I want to see about the quest from climb the remaining spires in the tiers. Okay. The weight of Aegis. Now that you have the Mage Bane Helm, return to Bladed Mark in Ashweld. The sage deserted you to a ruined estate in the Bastard tier. Okay, we have two quests to do. We can finally get rid of Verse, which, I mean, I like her as a character. I don't like her as a class, because I prefer Ebb. Ebb is just like my preferred choice, because all of her spells are so awesome, and plus she scares the Bane away, and she's got artifacts on her as well. She's got 2 artifacts equipped on her. So, yeah, let's go talk to Heb. Ebb nods at your approach and offers a curt bow.
What is it you need?
Add Ebb to the
Of
party.
course.
Goodbye to you too.
Whew, let's go. Okay, next up, I think we're gonna go and help Barrick out of his armor. Secluded Forge, and it's right next to the Cacophony. Holy shit. We've got to be careful. Okay, Secluded Forge. A small smithy rests on the outskirts of the city, overlooking a deep gorge. A plume of smoke rises from its chimney, marking its presence well before it comes into sight. 2 days. After a few hours of difficult travel through an area with dense undergrowth, you happen upon a small stream where you can refill your water skins and wash the sweat from your brow. Nearby, you spot a large copse of narrow trees with leaf-bearing vines coiling around their trunks. As the vines snake upward, dozens of thin yellowish-green stems spring forth along the plant's cane, some of them stiff and upright, others drooping downwards like long hair. At the end of these stems, an explosion of bright orange berries radiates outward, ripe and abundant. To your eye, they appear to be bristleberries. They're a very distinctive fruit, nutritious and energizing. They're also, unfortunately, exceedingly similar in appearance to bristlebane, a berry that is tolerated by beastmen and animals but rather toxic to humans. Examine the vine's leaves. The leaves extending from the main vine are bright green and lobed, with edges resembling undulating hills. This matches an old saying you recall about the berries. Leaves like hills, safe from chills. Leaves like rain, unending pain. With edges resembling undulating hills. The berries appears to be safe. Examine the berries. Clustered together in tight droplets, the berries vary from bright orange to a yellowish orange color. The size of each individual fruit differs slightly between bristleberry and bristlebane, but it's very difficult to determine without the two side by side. Rub the berry pit against your skin. Better to test with your skin rather than your stomach. You break off a cluster and mash the berries between your fingers, revealing the tiny pits inside. Working in slow circles, you rub them against your arm for a few seconds. Your skin remains free of any stinging rash, which you take as a good sign. Eat the berries. You adopt a cautious approach, filling your pouches with berries while eating only a single cluster. The fruit is sweet and tart, surprisingly juicy for its size, and the thought of immediately eating another handful is tantalizing, but you restrain yourself. With the stream as your guide, you follow the dense forest and eventually reach the main road with little difficulty. The rush of sugar and euphoria puts a spring in your step. Certain you spotted your edible berry from the toxic, you tear into your pouch and devour the berries, invigorated by every bite. Satisfied, you bound down the road, revitalized for the journey to come. Oh, awesome, look at that. Refreshed. And invigorated. Ah, awesome. Interesting. Whoa, look at these crystals. A bronze dagger, which, I mean, pretty common. Heavy leather boots, we don't care. A much abused earthenware jug dominates the small table. The only flat surface in this room not apparently dedicated to the smith's craft. An acerbic odor of strong stale wine lurks in the air around it. In stark contrast to the tools of the Overlord's forge-bound smiths, this equipment bears the marks of heavy use and inconstant maintenance. The mixed flavors of oil and sulfur clings to the back of your mouth. Licentia. Cool air stirs your clothes as you step into the small workshop. Despite the lit forge you see against the back wall, a dark-robed woman stalks the center of the space, fingers dancing against her chin, eyebrows furrowed in thought. Sooty smears on her skin suggest she touches her face often. She spares you an initially dismissive glance, but follows it with a surprised double-take. Oh, fuck me, the Fate Binder. I mean, what brings you to my humble atelier? Nice forge. Thanks, I made it myself, she chuckles. I'm particularly fond of the heat wards, not just on account of the comfort, keeps the place from going up in flames, barring anything unusual at the thought after.